You're listening to Your Calm Parenting Path. I'm your host Nina, a mindful parenting coach and mum, here to help you go from overwhelmed and reactive to calm, confident and connected with your kids. This show is for parents who want to raise their children with more patience, less stress and a whole lot more joy. Because small shifts make a big impact and you can build the parenting life you've always wanted. If you want to see what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram at Mindful Parenting Lifestyle, and don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's get started. Hi and welcome back. I'm really glad you're here today. Today's episode feels like one I wish someone had sat me down and said to me years ago, quietly, kindly, without judgment. Because I know what it's like to walk out of your child's room after you've raised your voice and feel that heavy mix of guilt and regret. Not dramatic guilt, not, I'm the worst mum ever. Just that low, sinking feeling of, that's not how I wanted to handle that. Maybe you snapped because you were tired. Maybe it was the 5th time you'd asked. Maybe it was over something small that suddenly felt big. And afterwards you're left wondering, what do I do now? Not how do I become a perfect parent? Not how do I never yell again? Just now what? That's what we're talking about today. Because the truth is, yelling isn't the end of the story. What you do matters far more. Let me tell you about something that completely shifted how I see parenting. David Winnicott, a British paediatrician and psychoanalyst, introduced the idea of the good enough parent. And what he found is incredibly reassuring. Children do not need perfect parents. They don't even need parents who respond perfectly most of the time. They need parents who get it right often enough, around 30% of the time, and who repair when they get it wrong. 30%. When I first heard that, I felt physical relief because it means that rupture is expected. Disconnection is normal. Hard moments are part of a secure attachment. Secure attachment isn't built on never getting it wrong. It's built on getting it wrong and then coming back. So if you've yelled, you haven't broken attachment, you've just had a rupture. And ruptures are repairable. Let's imagine something simple. Your child knocks over a full glass of milk. It spills everywhere. It's messy. It's inconvenient. It might even be frustrating, but it's not catastrophic. What matters is what happens next. Do we stand there shouting about how annoying it is? Or do we grab a cloth and clean it up together? Yelling is the spill. Repair is grabbing that cloth. The spill isn't what causes long-term damage. It's leaving it sitting there. It's pretending it didn't happen. It's ignoring it while it dries up and smells and becomes sticky. Repair is emotional cleanup. When we repair, we're not pretending it didn't spill. We're saying, that didn't go how I wanted. Let's clean it up. And when children see you clean up emotional spills, they learn how to clean up their own. When you repair after yelling, you're teaching your child something incredibly important. You're teaching them that relationships can handle hard moments. You're teaching them that conflict doesn't equal disconnection. You're teaching them that mistakes don't end love. And you're modelling accountability. If we want children who can say, I'm sorry, and mean it, they need to see us do the same. Not dramatically, not shamefully, calmly, clearly. Repair builds trust, and trust is the foundation of everything. Inside my guide, which is called So You Yelled, Now What?, I share something I call the ABCDE of repair, and I'd like to walk you through it now gently. A stands for acknowledge. Before you go back to your child, acknowledge what happened inside you. What was going on in your body? Were you overstimulated? Were you exhausted? Were you rushing? Take a moment to feel the emotion in your body. You might notice your fists clenched, jaws tight, shoulders raised. Whatever you feel, acknowledge it. This shifts you out of blame. Instead of thinking, he made me yell, you begin to think, I was dysregulated. When you acknowledge what's happening in your nervous system, you stop making your child responsible for it. Awareness first, change second. B stands for breathe. Now, this isn't about being all zen, it's about biology. When you yell, your body is in fight or flight. Your heart rate is up, your tone is sharp, your thinking brain has gone offline. Even one slow breath begins to bring you back. Repair works best when your nervous system is calm enough to mean it. Take deep breaths in and out until you start to feel calm again. Release any tension you might feel in your body. You might like to repeat a mantra such as, I am calm, I am calm. So breathe first, then go back. C stands for connect and apologize. This is the heart of repair. Connect with your child, help them calm down and be there for them if they still have big feelings. State how you're feeling without placing blame on anyone. For example, hey, I didn't like how I spoke to you before. I was feeling really frustrated. Yelling wasn't the right way to handle it. I'm sorry. Did you notice that there was no, but you did this, or if you had just listened? Because we need to own our behaviour. And we can still hold the boundary. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I was feeling so frustrated that I tripped over the toys on the floor. It's still not okay to hit your brother, but I want to talk about it calmly. Apologising does not weaken your authority, it strengthens your leadership. Authority built on fear is fragile, and authority built on trust is durable. D stands for demonstrate kindness. After you repair with your child, repair with yourself. When you speak to yourself, imagine that you're talking to your best friend. If your inner voice says, you're hopeless, you've ruined them, you'll never change, nothing grows from that. Instead, try, I didn't handle that well, I can try again next time. Be kind. Forgive yourself as you would a friend. Self-compassion isn't self-indulgence. It's what allows us to grow instead of spiral. If we punish ourselves every time we mess up, we avoid looking at our mistakes. But if we treat ourselves kindly, we can learn from them. And E stands for embrace community. You are not the only parent who yells. You are not the only one who loses it at bedtime. Shame thrives in secrecy. When you believe you're the only one struggling, it grows heavier. And when you realise that this is human, it softens. Repair is a skill, and like any skill, it grows when it's talked about. Talk to your friends about what happens. You will quickly realise that you are not the only one who loses your temper. A sense of community will help you embrace your commonality with other parents and give you people to laugh with about all the crazy things we go through as parents. Remember that you are not alone in this. Okay, so sometimes you apologise, you repair, and your child says nothing. Sometimes they're still hurt, and that is okay. Repair is an offer, not a demand. So you might just say, I understand if you're still upset. I'm here when you're ready. Safety is built in consistency, not instant forgiveness. There was a night recently where I snapped at bedtime. I was so tired. I was touched out. I was done. My child kept coming out of his bed when I'd already asked him about 5 times. And I just lost it. I just yelled at him, go back to bed. Oh my gosh. And after I did it, I was able to pause and I went through the acknowledging and I took a breath and I went into his bedroom And I just said, look, I'm sorry that I yelled at you now. That wasn't the right thing to do, but it is time to go to bed. And we had a little cuddle and he fell asleep. Now, that moment didn't erase the yelling, but it built trust. And as I've said, trust is stronger than perfection. So your small shift for big impact this week. If you yell, can you repair within 24 hours? That's it. Don't aim to never yell again. Aim to repair sooner. Even 5 minutes sooner than last time is growth. Milk will spill, voices will rise, but in your home, you can clean it up together. And that is what builds connection. Thank you so much for being here this week. I look forward to seeing you again next week on your calm parenting path. You've got this. Thanks for listening to Your Calm Parenting Path. I am so glad you're here, and I hope this episode gave you something useful to take into your parenting journey. If you'd like to dive deeper, sign up to my mailing list at mindfulparentinglifestyle.com.au for more tips and insights, or book a free chat to learn how we can work together. And don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. I look forward to speaking with you next time on Your Calm Parenting Path.